There's history in this city. I mean, to refer to children as like baby Al Capones is not appropriate. I'm fully aware of what I inherited. The 90s were especially tough. I remember that. I was in high school. We had almost 1,000 people being murdered every single year. What we know, particularly in this moment, my administration, that constitutional policing is critical. And so I really appreciate, very much so, how many of our law enforcement rank and file members have really stepped up to be more of a system of care and calm versus a system that has unfortunately been deemed to be far more harsh and severe. And those levels of sensitivity as we bring calm and structure to the city, that's a unique approach.
Many months later.
At least 32 people have been shot in Chicago over the long holiday weekend. 3 of them have been killed. One of the youngest victims of violence, a 6-year-old boy shot in the thigh during a family gathering inside a South Side home yesterday. We are told this afternoon he's in good condition.
Well, folks, another deadly holiday in Chicago, sadly. Not a word from Mayor Brandon here. I've scoured the internet looking for his comments. 32 people were shot in Chicago. Some of them were apparently children, teenagers. So whenever they get out of school, this is what happens. Just in case you guys haven't followed along or noticed this trend. So whenever they have some sort of a break, so this in particular case is from Easter, the Easter break here. The gun violence just skyrockets, The parents are sad and heartbroken. But I wanted to just read a little bit from this article here, and then I want to make a little bit of comment here. At least 7 people were killed by gunfire over the Easter holiday weekend in Chicago, including 2 teens who were involved in a pair of mass shootings on Sunday. According to the Chicago Police Department, at least 32 people were shot between 6 p.m. Friday and 11:59 p.m. Sunday. That total includes 2 separate mass shootings that involved 9 total victims. A 29-year-old man was fatally shot around 9:15 p.m. Friday on the 800 block of West 87th Street. He was standing in a parking lot in that area when a silver sedan approached and someone inside fired multiple shots. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene. A 41-year-old man was killed inside of a home on the 8200 block of South Elizabeth Street just before 12 p.m. Saturday. A 37-year-old man died after he was shot in the 8200 block of South Cottage Grove at 3 p.m. Saturday. A 19-year-old man was fatally shot outside a home in the 6700 block of South Cornell Avenue at 12:45 a.m. on Sunday. It just goes on and on and on and on. Minutes later, 1 a.m., a 19-year-old woman was killed. A 19-year-old woman was killed in the 5300 block of West Madison Street. Wow, another 19-year-old victim was struck in the head and dead on the scene. 2 other women, ages 19 and 20, were hospitalized in good condition. Wow, it just keeps going. The 16-year-old boy was killed and 3 men were injured in a shooting in 400 block of North. Guys, it's out of control. Okay, so obviously something has to change. It can't stay like this. The people of Chicago have spoke out. They realize that it's a policy of the Democrats. Mayor Brandon Johnson, in my opinion, is a total coward. Okay, this gun violence is not, it's not to a point where you can't control it. He could simply make changes like some of the conservative policies, tough on crime policies, and stop feeling sorry for the criminal. Okay. He's been recorded, feeling sorry for the actual criminals. Can you believe this? We can't talk bad about the criminal because they're kids. It doesn't matter. If they're killing people, you're a criminal. Okay? soft on crime because you're a kid doesn't fly. Okay. It doesn't change anything, as you can see. So the gun violence is completely out of control, but that's when the lefties come out of nowhere and they want to take your guns as a law-abiding citizen. They want to get rid of all the guns. I think you should arm the citizens. The only way this is going to change is if you relax the gun laws on the law-abiding citizens and they can protect their families. Like, you almost don't have to have a brain to think about this. Your kids are getting shot down. Your teens are getting killed. And you want to get rid of the guns. I understand that you want to get rid of the illegal guns. I get that. But how do you fight fire? With fire. That's how it goes. Parents, I'm tired of watching parents cry. Their kids are dying in the streets, blood spilling everywhere. And people just cry and hug their wives and say, oh my goodness, please put down a gun. Begging the criminals to put down their guns. What do the criminals do? Kill way more people every time. They kill way more people every single time. It's like they're laughing at the parents, laughing when the children get shot. This is crazy. At what point do you fight back? At what point do you arm yourself, let the criminals know you're not doing that around here any longer? At what point? You can buy a gun as a law-abiding citizen. If you don't have a police record, if you're not a criminal, let me be clear. If you don't have a lot of charges, get yourself a gun. Keep it in your house at least. It's not that hard to get a weapons permit. It's difficult in the liberal cities, more difficult than it should be. But it's not impossible. Certainly not impossible. There are people that have wear and carry permits in Chicago. I know it. Call your local police department. Ask them what it takes to get the firearm and the permit. Look it up. Call the state police. Tell them you're interested to carry a firearm. This is what you can do, Chicago. Arm yourself to the tooth. Don't be scared to carry a gun. The criminals obviously are not scared to murder your children. They're not scared to do it. They're going to keep doing it. It's going to keep getting worse. I believe it's over 100 people have been shot or killed. 100 children have been shot in Chicago so far in 2024. When does it stop? I'm telling you when it stops. When the men get courage, they start breaking through the system. They start taking their matters in their own hands. I don't mean going out shooting at a bunch of people. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about making it known that you have a weapons permit. Call the news stations. Tell them you're arming yourself. Make it visible so the criminals can see it. The word spreads. I'm giving you a blueprint here on how to protect your neighborhood. Okay? Advertise it. Show them that you're getting weapons. Show them that you got the permits. Blow it up and make it a big deal. Put it all over social media so that the criminals get the idea. Put it all over social media. Make YouTube videos about how you're arming yourself in your cities. And this goes for anybody across the United States. Yep, I said it. Arm yourselves. The criminals are not, let me repeat this. The criminals are not going to put down their guns. Okay? You can forget about it. Stop listening to your wives telling you, you shouldn't have a gun. Nobody should be carrying firearms. This is crazy. No, the law-abiding citizens should be armed to the tooth. You hear me? Okay, Chicago, Baltimore, California, you should be armed to the tooth. The criminals will never put down their guns. They're not going to do it. Okay, you can forget about that. I promise you. I promise you. You can forget about it. Look back into history. The only time criminals put down their guns is when police officers crack down. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you have a weapons permit, you can protect your streets, the criminals will stop shooting your children. As simple as that. I heard Mayor Eric Adams of New York said, we don't want the Wild Wild West in New York, so that's why they won't allow. They're not going to allow you to carry firearms because too many people will have guns. No, you need too many of the right people to have guns. You've got too many of the wrong people carrying guns. You need to outnumber them and outgun them. Again, I'm not talking about going out and shooting people like the criminals do. I'm talking about making it known and visible that you're carrying legal firearms here. It's your right under the Constitution to protect yourself. You have the right. You literally have the right to bear arms. Okay. Your cities are just trying to make it more difficult for you to carry legal firearms. They don't care that the criminals. Let me rephrase that. It looks like that they don't care if the criminals are killing your children. Okay. That's what it looks like. So what you have to do is be proactive. Get with the police station. Call your local police station. Ask them what the process is to get the firearm. They're going to give you a website to go to. You go to the website, fill in your information. Okay. Whatever it takes to get the permit, that should be your attitude. Whatever it takes to protect myself. Okay. Every man should be doing this if you're not a criminal. Okay. The criminals obviously don't care. They get their guns from whoever they get it from, stealing them. I don't know. Okay. But you need to arm yourself as an American citizen and take your streets back. That's when this is going to change. I promise you. I promise you. How do I know that? Call up some red states. Call West Virginia's police department and ask them how they're doing on gun violence. Call police departments in Florida. Ask them how they keep the crime rates down. Ask them about gun laws there. Ask them about law-abiding citizens carrying firearms and how it helps the community. Ask them. Because you can call the police, but it's going to take them a long time to get there. You only have split seconds to save a life. No brainer. Okay. A caveman monkey would know it. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. So that's my rant on this. The mayor's not coming out saying anything. He's a coward. He's not going to come out right away. He's going to think of something clever to say, and then he'll be out. If he does decide to say something about the 32 people that were shot, some being kids, okay? If he decides to make a YouTube video, if he decides to let the cameras take questions, if he decides, that's your mayor. Okay, that's all the Democrat mayors, by the way. It's not just him. They're all the same. Take back your streets. Do it the right way. Until next time, love and peace. Yup, I said it.